Too often, our traumas and tragedies define us rather than refine us. And we live in defeat and thrive on drama instead of passing from victim to victor. And if you want to get unstuck, if you don't want to stay a victim, but rather become a victor and know what that really means, you have to pass the stress test. Stress comes to us all. It can be life-changing one way or the other when it starts with some kind of traumatic event, crisis, situation, or season of life. And you don't want to stay in the place of post-traumatic stress without experiencing post-traumatic growth. Romans 8, verses 28 and 29 tells you that God is working all things together for your good to make you more like Jesus. And that means dealing with stress can be the instrument of your growth in God's grace. Romans 5, 1 through 5, James 1, 2 through 4, and so much of the biblical narrative illustrates and proves this point, that stress can become a strategic inflection point used by God to grow your faith and give you a victory that you might not yet understand and in a way that you cannot as yet see. You don't have to fossilize in your failures and frustrations. God is not done with you yet. What seems to be falling apart can actually be God bringing new things together. What you may consider limitations do not have to be liabilities. They can be liberties. In other words, they can set you free from yourself. Over the years of my life, I've made so many mistakes and left so many situations in such a bad way. Now, because of that, there would be people who, if they saw this, they would say, "No way, not that guy. Don't listen to him. You don't know what that guy was like, what that guy did." Well, I don't have to deny what that guy was like or what that guy did to say that I'm not that guy anymore, and I'm becoming less and less like that guy every day. And you know what? I've never really been just that guy. I'm God's guy. Hebrews 11:6 says, "And without faith it's impossible to please him, for whoever would draw near to God must believe that he exists and that he rewards those who seek him." Faith will act on the fact of who God is and what he says you should do. And pleasing God means drawing near to God under pressure rather than retreating to your old self. You keep walking away from Babylon and keep walking towards Jerusalem. You move into new growth by applying your faith. And that means your faith grows as you act on the fact that God will reward you as you re-engage instead of retreat. And you know what? That trauma can come in the form not only of tragedy, but also of triumph. Sometimes the issue is that you think you achieved that growth because you had the triumph. But the goal isn't your triumph as much as the goal is God himself, your relationship with him, and your character becoming more like his. That is what the real victory is, the growth of your faith. And this victory isn't about you conquering the world. It's about the world not conquering you. God bless you, my friends.